Welcome to Abundance Abroad, y'all. Welcome back and welcome to episode 2, y'all. One of my biggest complaints about myself is that I don't go big enough. And so what I'm calling today's episode is She Designs Her Own Destiny, is because I decided to go big when I said abundance. And when I say go big, I wanted something that was so big that it had to have other elements coming into it. Here's where the idea of bringing your full self to everything you do comes in handy for me. I'm a project manager, a program manager by trade, so to speak, right? So I chunk out huge concepts all the time, taking a vision and putting it into action. And that's exactly how I decided to treat myself. Let me take this huge vision of achieving abundance, chunk it out, and understand exactly how I'm going to get there. So, the same goal setting process, or a very similar goal setting process that I run with my teams within the nonprofit space, is exactly what I decided to apply to myself. Starting with the overarching goals of abundance and all of the things that go into it, and then coming all the way down, creating a cascade of what are the actual tactics that lead to and help me achieve each one of these individual goals and objectives. I know that this is not the sexiest thing ever, but I will tell you, as someone who enjoys sort of a little project with the sticky notes and all of that, it is fun, at least for me, and it's effective, which is the main thing. I needed a roadmap. Just saying that I wanted to live an abundant life without putting the action and the thought behind it was not going to work. So, this is what my process looked like. Let's jump in. Years ago, I started doing Years ago, I started treating my life like a complex program that I managed, right? Like I spend every day managing people, managing programs, trying to make sure that everything is connected to the higher mission. So why not treat my life the same way? So I combined a few things that I love. I love a flip chart. I love some markers. I love some sticky notes. And I went down to the basement and started mind mapping with abundance in the center. And what are all of the things, the elements that get me to abundance? This was part of my New Year's tradition that I started. And I loved it. And every year it was almost like it was self-care for me. It was me spending time thinking about me, thinking about my life, thinking about what I want, thinking about what I wanted my year to look like and incorporate so that I'm better off at the end of the year coming out. So every year I was doing this, and then each year I adjust the process, maybe add something to it, take something out that I don't think is valuable. But I believe in 2020, I started to set a theme for my year. Now, 2020, we all know, we were at the height of the pandemic. I don't think that I was able to settle on a theme for the year that was realistic until maybe March. And the theme that I set was agility, because everything was changing so quickly, and trying to figure out what days looked like, what months would look like, and really focusing on life and the preservation of life was the most important thing. So being agile seemed like the theme for that year. I think 2021 or 2022, I set my theme as audacity, and that has been running through since then, because again, I don't go big enough. And I think that we've talked about, and we know a lot of us have said that audacity is at an all-time high ever since 2020, really ever since 2016, but we're not going to go into that. But I've set my theme as audacity, and have challenged myself to be more audacious in how I think and how I move. So adding those components in there, I've done a few burn ceremonies and some of those things that I've added in. But one of the things, or the thing that has always been consistent, is setting overarching goals and themes that are a part of abundance, And then bringing it all the way down to the everyday acts that lead up to and help me accomplish each one of those things. The Invest in Myself year had me building out my tactics around investing in myself physically, emotionally, spiritually, sexually, mentally. And what are those tactics? What are the milestones that I can set for myself that demonstrate that I am actually investing in myself? So ensuring that one of the massive accomplishments that I wanted for that particular year was to refinance my house, which I was able to do as an investment, as a financial investment in myself, something that I wanted to do. But that's something incredibly practical that leads up to a much larger idea, a much larger concept, and that keeps me on track. So again, not necessarily all of everything is going to be sexy. It's not all about traveling to Rio. Not that I would love to do that, but it is about making sure that I'm accomplishing the things that need to be accomplished, and that I'm really thinking about the things that bring me joy, but that are also going to move me forward in the way that I've defined as important for myself. So this is a little snapshot of how I approach my goal setting process each year and how I have approached it. Again, not saying that this is going to be the way I do it every year. I've started to implement a spreadsheet, which I love, but that's just the way my brain works. And this is how it works for me. There are a lot of things that I still need to work out and that I want to talk through with everyone in terms of how to track progress to your goals. I want an abundance meter. What does my meter look like, and how do I keep it full on a regular basis? So those things that will be evolving to make sure that I am on target and that we stay on target in terms of our quest for abundance. All right, y'all, I've shown you mine. I would love for you to show me yours. Do you have a goal setting process? How do you set your dreams and work to achieve them? I'd love to see. I'd love to know. I'd love to know, what does abundance look like for you? I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I am really excited to see what all of you are thinking and how you plan out your lives and achieve the success that you deserve.